Alright, so we finished season 1.
And oh boy, it was long.
Oh yeah, we had to watch 5 episodes this time.
Yeah.
Got another 13 after this. Alright, so, Lost Ships.
I don't even remember this one. Oh, this was the Greek one.
Yeah, the sirens. And they turned everyone into stone.
Yeah, and then they did the fusion dance and became a larger lady.
Who could control the Chimera for some reason, even though the individual ladies couldn't do it.
And then she became even bigger to fight Godzilla because she fused with the Chimera.
Well, she didn't fuse with it. They just both grew in size.
No, they became one entity.
No, because the lady still reacted to stuff as it was beating up the Chimera. Wait,
no.
Did they?
No, at the end, they're like, Godzilla can't stop us, and then they fused with it.
Oh my god.
And it became big and weird.
That was dumb.
Anyway, there was a Minotaur, because, Greek. There was
Yep.
a maze. They had a rope in the maze.
Yep.
Or labyrinth or whatever. Then they locked the Minotaur behind a wooden door.
Yep. Who punched a hole through, like, the metal mesh that was the window, and then stopped trying.
Yeah, it's just like, well, I give up. It's over. But yeah, no, they couldn't. The three ladies couldn't control the Chimera, but they were able to put Godzilla down at the beginning.
Put him to sleep. The stone ray made other people stone and made Godzilla sleep.
Well, according to them, they put him in a trance.
They literally turned to stone.
Yeah, but they said that he was put into a trance.
It's fucking stupid. Yeah, so I mean, that was the one we got the most screenshots of.
Yeah.
It was incredible. The bull turned into a pig.
Pretty much. I mean.
Yeah, it was a pig face. Yeah.
Is there anything else that really happened in that episode?
I mean, the Chimera was a weird Chimera because it had like a lion head and had like a snake body, and it kept like changing in size, just like everything else in this show.
Yeah.
Nothing is consistent.
I mean, it's inconsistently consistent. Or consistently inconsistent. There we go. That's what I want.
So, then move on to the Magnetic Beast, which is probably...
Terror. Magnetic Terror.
Alright, fine. Alright, yeah, it's right there. Alright, yeah, the Magnetic Terror, who is just Gamera, and holy crap, we had a great time with
Not
this episode.
just Gamera. Old man Gamera.
Yes, old man Gamera with an iron deficiency. That's why he's sucking up all the metal.
Cleanly.
Yeah, no, just...
It was really clean. Didn't chew his food.
I watched a goddamn metal container shrink into his mouth, like it like folded in on itself and came into his mouth. It was the best, and I could have sworn there was a slurping sound when it happened.
Oh, there was a slurp.
It was just magnificent. We watched a plane just go cleanly into its mouth. Just laughed. A man abandoned his passengers to die.
He has never lost a plane before, but now he lost this one and the passengers.
He's like, fuck it, I'm out. Took the only parachute. Took the only parachute, jumped out, nearly froze to death. Thank God he happened to land near the Calico.
The child lost his head for
a
frame.
Oh, that was the best frame. It took us forever to catch it, because it was literally a single frame.
Yeah, and we were even moving it at like half speed.
It was ridiculous, but we got it just for you guys and for our own entertainment.
Yes, it's a magical frame.
It is the best we've ever gotten. Way better than like the dissected Godzuki, where like his body disappeared but his arms and legs were still there.
What episode was that in?
I
don't remember.
I don't remember either. It might have been Atlantis.
I don't know. We'll have to look at it after this.
Or, yeah, I don't know.
Because it doesn't really matter all that much.
Not really. If it was in a previous episode, you'll have seen it already. So, yeah. So Gamera was awesome, and then he exploded. And
No, hang on.
Okay.
So the big thing was they were trying to prevent him from going to the South Pole because that would juice him up.
It would juice him up, and supposedly it was going to like ruin the Earth's magnetosphere, and that would destroy that would, in a sense, destroy the world.
So what they did is they took him to the South Pole and let him get juiced up. And then he exploded.
Oh my god, yeah, no, he just...
And, like, houses came out of him.
Houses, trees, whole bunch of shit that was not magnetic.
Some wooden rafts, which were the size of houses.
That was incredible. Like, silos.
Some trucks.
Oh, yeah, trucks.
I mean, trucks would be magnetic, but they were
like,
the size of a
I
house.
don't know where the fuck he got them. The only places he came onto land was in Antarctica. And that was it.
Yeah, it was great. It was a good time.
Fucking dumb.
He almost ate Godzilla.
Oh, that was the best shot. Godzilla was like getting hit with the magnetic beam, and then he was like, you know what? I'm going in.
I've accepted my fate.
I'm gonna fight it from the inside. It was dumb.
And speaking of the inside, Captain and Brock were inside.
Yes.
So the Godzilla button didn't work because magnetic interference, but the radios worked.
Yeah, which also use electromagnetic radiation. So, shit's stupid. Yeah, so...
This is the first monster they killed.
It just blew up. Like, they brought it to the exact South Pole.
I guess I'd argue the Atlantean robot, but like that's not really
that's a robot. And then there's the excavator beast, which is made out of mud and they melted.
And then the stone lions were also just stone.
Yeah,
and they technically might not even be dead.
Yeah, no, they might come back. Yeah. So yeah, they blew them up, and it was amazing and hilarious. And this is about the time where we started to recognize that they were using the exact same walking animation from, like, Firebird.
Yeah, the first
episode 1. And they keep putting it in. And they'll tilt it sometimes. Or they'll, like, sink him down a little bit. But it's the same reused stock animation every goddamn time.
And it's beautiful every single time.
It kills us sometimes. It's amazing. Now we move on to Breeder Beast, the one that had the most exciting name and was a lot lamer than it was supposed to be.
It really was. It was just a big old slug that got inflation.
It was basically a slime girl, but way less... It didn't have the girl. It was just slime, but it had a core.
But there was an inflation fetish. So
yeah, no, they inflated that thing like a motherfucker.
And they kept shouting, Godzilla, don't use your laser beams! Don't use your fire... Godzilla, stay away from it!
They were just commanding Godzilla all over the place.
And Godzilla's just like, no, I'm dealing with this.
Fucking assholes. I'm just gonna burn it, and then it burned... Like, it absorbed a bunch of heavy metals from the mint, which probably which probably bankrupted, like, America. But then it turned like golden orange, and then it could control its power.
And then it got noodle arms, noodle tentacles.
It went full hentai, and it was about to get real awkward with Godzuki. And then they used the fire on it and crystallized it.
They turned it into a rock.
They literally turned it into a rock. Which I guess is how the mint got all of its precious metals back, because they probably melted down. And then they showed that this was yet another Hedorah, because they found some water, and it's like...
Yeah, they put it in a little cup of water, and it's like, oh, look, it's a tadpole!
Yeah, it was dumb. Sub-Zero. The Sub-Zero Terror. They used terror
Yeti Mountain.
Yep, just a Yeti.
Old man Yeti.
Yet another old man monster. So it takes place in Tibet because it's the Himalayas, and I assume they're trying to climb up Mount Everest or something.
I don't know what they're trying to do. They're just there because the plot demands them to be there.
Wait, that's where Mount Everest is in the Himalayas, right?
I thought so.
Okay. So yeah, it's Tibet, and
I don't know diddly about
it gets kind of racist. And I'm not talking about the snowmen. I'm talking about the locals. It's real bad.
The local,
yes.
One.
Well, I mean, to be fair, the Yetis are locals too.
Yeah,
but
anyway, they're not a race. I mean, they're not a real race.
They're sure, but yeah. So So a terrible old man Yeti causes an avalanche and keeps them from exploring. And then the Calico shows up and they drop off the kid and Science Lady and yeah, and they're like, see you in 5 days. And I was like,
oh, there's
what?
also a man with a mustache.
Oh yeah, a man with like a thin mustache. Occasionally his eyes would chameleon out.
Yeah, it was really good.
Amazing.
But yeah, no, they just left the kid, the lady, and mustache man with the guy, and they're like, we'll be back
5
sometime, maybe.
days.
Hope you don't die.
Yeah, no, it was amazing. And then like they end up hiking and they deal with old man Yeti again.
Yeah.
The local just gets sucked through the snow.
And then there's an avalanche.
Yep.
And they hide in a cave.
Yep.
And then they find the race of snow people.
Well, at the same time, Brock and the captain there's like hot water, and they're like, where the hell does this come from? And they find a cave.
A natural cave.
Natural metal, like steel bolted cave with a giant steel door.
A natural steel door.
Yeah, natural steel door, and they open it, and they are just aghast at what they see because they find the Yetis working with shiny red rocks that are never explained. And by this time, the other group has met up with their guide, who turns out to be a Yeti man, who decides to give them a tour.
Yeah, it's real good. He's like, yep, and this is where we do the thing.
This is our special place. Take a good look around, and here's the warriors that we will use to conquer you all. Now freeze!
We don't need peace when we have an army.
We don't need peace when we can fight war. That's basically how that goes.
And so, yeah, all three of them get frozen, and then the captain's like, yo, we need Godzilla, and then he gets frozen.
And so Godzuki is trying to... He manages to get Brock away, and...
Then he gets frozen.
Yep, and so it's just Brock, and I'm like, how is this going to work? And, well, the Yetis use, like, pixie sticks to freeze people.
Yeah.
Turns out the pixie sticks also melt people.
They have a reverse button on them.
I mean, that would make the most amount of sense. It's still really stupid. What I think happened is they were like, we need a device, but we need to be easy to draw, so it's just a stick.
It literally looks like a magic wand.
It's a white stick. It's really dumb. But the way they use it is like...
Well, that's how the Yeti people
they like
use
hold it sideways and like twist it.
Brock used it as a magic wand.
Oh, totally.
Like he just stuck it out. And he's like, "Yep, thaw."
Yep, and then he accidentally thawed all the warriors. It was a bad time. The ultimate warriors came out to play.
Yeah.
And
then they called Godzilla.
Yeah, as they called the Super Yeti, or the Super Wachuka, whatever.
Yeah, the Great Yachuka.
Yeah. Who's the kaiju sized Yeti.
It was basically Godzilla vs. Kong again.
Pretty much.
Like, Big Yeti grabs the lady and is like, yes, lady.
And then Godzilla jumped in and went, no, that's how I make my manillas. Which is a joke I said while we were watching, and I think you didn't hear it.
I don't think I did.
Yeah, no, I was going to repeat it, but I'm like, I'll just save it. Yeah, so Godzilla protected his right to breed, and yeah.
They bumped into one of the volcanoes.
Oh,
and that just awoke the volcano.
It just awoke the volcano, and so Godzilla's grand plan was to find a giant cylindrical rock.
Okay, hang on. Before that happens, like, they climb out. No, Godzilla punches or pokes a hole in the door.
Oh my god, just gently pokes a hole.
And the crew runs out.
Yep.
Leaving the local.
Yeah,
they didn't bring him with them.
They technically thawed him out, but they just forgot about him.
So, and then Godzilla climbs out, makes a hammer.
Yeah, like sticks a tree to a big cylindrical rock, and then swings it, plugs the volcano, and that would totally fix the problem.
And the story is over. They leave.
Yep. Great. Awesome.
And then we meet the Time Dragon.
Now, we were super excited for this because there were a couple ways this could go, And the first thing we called out was that we accidentally saw a dinosaur. And we're like, oh, they're just going to be dinosaurs. And it wasn't quite that simple.
Oh, it was a mess.
We were hoping for dragons that cause time things to happen. But instead, what we got was a falling nuclear satellite that Godzilla manhandled until
they were sent through time 70,000 years to the past.
Where dinosaurs lived.
And humans. Dinosaurs and cavemen.
Dinosaurs, cavemen, saber-toothed tigers, elk, they all were there.
And specific dinosaurs being the sauropod and T-Rex.
Yes, so the sauropod was a carnivore. Never forget. Yes, that's right. Carnivorous sauropod. Just let that, for those of you who know what I'm talking about, just let that sink in for a bit. Yeah, it's as stupid as you think. It had like a snake face. It was dumb. And then there's a carnivorous plant that uses a weird butterfly thing to attract people. Which makes no sense because, according to them, they're like, flowering plants didn't exist 70,000 years ago. Yeah, when they first existed during the Cretaceous period, like 70 million years ago.
No, flowers and shit didn't happen.
Fucking stupid. And again, like, I might be getting that wrong. It's probably closer to 65, but...
regardless, they didn't get it right.
It was really dumb. But basically, a giant pitcher plant with sentient, like, vines grabbed the kid. I can't remember his name. Pete.
Yeah.
And then they don't figure that out until later.
Until they look back and they go, oh man, child isn't with us. Shit.
And so they
lost him in time.
They go back to look for him, and then Brock has the brilliant idea of throwing a small boulder into the plant.
Yeah, so Godzuki does that. The captain and science lady fall in a hole.
Yep, like Team Rocket style. And then, for some reason, they're given a way out only to be captured by the people who made the hole.
Yes. They were going to be forced into slavery by the cavemen.
Until Godzuki showed up and scared the bejesus out of them.
And they're like, look, if anybody can control a dragon, they're not a slave.
Yeah, no.
And so then they're like, yo, what if we teach these cavemen how to be civilized? These cavemen who speak English. Build a catapult.
Yeah, no, they build walls, and then, yeah, they build a catapult, which comes into play later, oddly enough.
There's an earthquake, or no, what happens is they show them this painting on the wall, it's them on the ship.
Which is like, okay, whatever.
And it's like stick figures.
No, it's great.
Like, the other paintings had detail to them.
Oh, they were incredible.
These are just stick figures.
Yeah, no.
So they're like, okay, well, earthquakes mean we gotta go home. So they go back to the boat. T-Rex.
Yeah, with cat feet. And really long arms.
And size-changing powers.
Oh, just was as big as he needed to be.
So, yeah, they go back, and the dude's like, oh, it's time to call Godzilla. He falls over, loses the button, and Godzuki's like, okay, I'll just call Godzilla. Yeah, that's what I do. You don't need the button anymore.
No, it's really pointless. But yeah, so Godzilla comes out and is like, I'll tangle with this beast. And then the T-Rex is actually correct. Like, it's the right proportions. And then they're trying to get onto the boat, and this fight is going on. And then out of nowhere, this fissure opens up, and this white mud. We're using quotes here because, man, it was getting close to something. And then the lady's like, pure uranium ore, and we're both like, what? What is that gonna have to do with anything?
And they're like, okay, just ignore it. We're getting on the boat.
Also, let me just say, pure uranium, yes, there is a point at which it's called critical mass. It's when you put enough uranium together that it creates a chain reaction. Now, let us be clear. All this mud was just there. There should have been enough to cause the freaking reaction to begin with.
Nah. So Godzilla picks it up and just... He's winding up for the pitch, and then he just travels through time.
And then the science lady is like, he went back to our time, and we're sitting there like, how do you know that?
So the cavemen show up at this point because now Godzilla's gone.
Yeah. And they start flinging mud at the T-Rex, which is just hysterical.
And they're like, no, the white mud. So he goes over there. It's like a deep gray now.
Well, no, she said the gray mud.
Oh, okay.
But when they pick it up, it turns white.
Yeah, so they stick it in the catapult, launch it at the T-Rex.
It like manhandles it, and then it starts to warp, and then for whatever reason, the effect of the warp hits the ship.
Yeah, it just travels over or through the jungle. Picks up the ship, and boom, everyone's back in time, back to where before the satellite had fallen.
Yeah, so Godzilla and T-Rex are doing the tango, and they're like, oh man, that satellite's gonna come down. Godzuki, tell Godzilla to be careful with the satellite, but to throw it at the T-Rex.
Push it away, but don't touch it.
Yeah, so he just blows on it, and Godzuki doesn't actually tell him that.
No, Godzuki just makes noises on the boat. He doesn't go up to Godzilla's level.
It doesn't even fucking try. But yeah, Godzilla blows it at the T-Rex. T-Rex does yet another catch, weird handle, warps back through time. And then Godzilla proceeds to turn into a woman?
He gets very feminine.
Yeah.
With like a weird old man head.
Yeah, it's very awkward. That's his smug pose. And then it's over, and that's the season finale. It's kind of monkey-ish. That's what concerns me the most.
But yeah, no, so season 1. So do we want to, like, grade them by, like, grade the seasons?
I feel like this is actually all about the entire show.
Okay.
Because I don't know that the seasons really matter. There's only 2 of them.
Yeah, I know, but we can at least be like, well, season 1 was slightly better than season 2, or season 2 was slightly better than season 1.
Well,
I mean, they're both gonna be garbage.
We can say that at the end. I mean, but, like, unless there's a distinct difference in quality, which I get the feeling both of these seasons are going to be about the same quality.
What if season 2 is just, like, straight anime?
I was going to say, like, it just turns immaculate.
Like,
I would be impressed.
pre-rendered anime.
That would be weird.
Okay, well,
we've gone on long enough. Expect 3 more parts of this. Because we have another 13 episodes to go.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
I'm not. I'm having fun, sort of, maybe.
I mean, the screenshots are incredible. That's what I'll say.
Yeah, that's what's saving me right now. Okay.
Alright, see you guys later.
See ya.